Here are 6 indicators that a lady is done with you if you've ever sensed a change in your relationship but couldn't quite place it. It's critical to notice the small changes in a relationship, particularly for high-value guys who place a premium on emotional intelligence and self-awareness. When a relationship begins to falter, it can often feel confusing and discouraging. In this video, we'll explore the 6 telltale signs that indicate she may be losing interest or is ready to move on. By paying attention to these indicators, you can save yourself time, energy, and emotional distress. Whether you're feeling like something is changing in your relationship or you just want to be ready, pay close attention to the signs we discussed today. You won't want to miss this crucial insight into the dynamics of your relationship. Connection. High-value men need to be aware of dynamics in order to navigate their relationships. Being sensitive to your partner's emotional state and the dynamics in general can help avoid misunderstandings and encourage closer ties. In this process, emotional intelligence is essential because it helps men identify minute changes in mood and behavior that could be signs of problems. Men can proactively address issues before they escalate by developing awareness of potential signs that something is off. This mindset not only helps maintain a healthy partnership, but also promotes personal growth and maturity. In the end, being emotionally intelligent and aware of relationship dynamics empowers men to navigate their connections more effectively and create lasting, meaningful bonds. Brewing beneath the surface. Understanding your partner's feelings allows you to respond appropriately, ensuring that both individuals feel valued and heard. When conversations that used to flow freely become sparse or superficial, it's important to pay attention. One indication of this shift could be receiving brief, one-word responses. Sign 1. Decreased communication. A significant drop in communication frequency or quality can be a telling sign that a woman may be losing interest in the relationship. A clear lack of passion in her responses or a refusal to engage in more in-depth, meaningful discussions. Any relationship depends on excellent communication since it promotes intimacy, connection, and mutual understanding. When communication fails, it can cause miscommunication and distance, which can eventually cause the relationship to fall apart. If you notice that your partner is no longer sharing her thoughts, feelings, or everyday experiences with you, it may be a sign of a deeper problem. Take the example of a man who used to enjoy having nightly conversations with his girlfriend about their day. Over time, he noticed that she avoided topics that encouraged deeper discussions and that her responses became brief, frequently punctuated by SNs. At first, he dismissed this, but he soon realized that the lack of engagement signaling her disinterest, which eventually led to an emotional disconnect and her decision to end the relationship. Identifying these signs early on can empower men to address potential issues before they escalate. Protecting their emotional investment. Sign 2. Lack of interest in spending time together. It's critical to notice when a partner who once eagerly anticipated shared experiences starts to decline invitations, suggests separate plans, or prioritizes other activities with you over time. A discernible decrease in a woman's desire to spend time with you can be a significant indicator of her disengagement from the relationship. Healthy relationships are based on connection, humor, and shared experiences. It could be a sign of a shift in your partner's emotional commitment if she chooses to go out with friends or immerse herself in hobbies instead of accepting your invites. Consider the story of a man who, after a period of time, discovered that his girlfriend routinely turned down his invitations to dinner or movie nights, frequently stating that she preferred to hang out with friends. He ignored these signs and continued to pursue her, only to discover that her emotional detachment grew until the rift widened and she expressed her desire for time and space apart. This behavior suggests that she may be re-evaluating her commitment to the relationship, prioritizing her independence, or even distancing herself entirely. High-value men can manage relationship dynamics more skillfully and possibly spare both parties needless suffering by identifying and resolving the warning indications of a partner's declining interest early on. The third indicator is emotional disengagement. When a woman begins to emotionally distance herself, it can be indicated by fewer compliments. Emotional withdrawal is the term used to describe a partner's disengagement from the emotional parts of a relationship, which frequently manifests as decreased affection, intimacy, and an unwillingness to discuss sentiments. Reduced physical contact and absence of emotional susceptibility. These indicators may be subtle at first, but they become more noticeable over time. For example, a man may notice that his girlfriend no longer talks about her day or freely expresses her thoughts and feelings. Where there used to be tender moments of physical affection, such as holding hands or cuddling, there may now be a noticeable absence. This emotional distance can result in a lack of shared experiences and connection, which are necessary for a healthy relationship. Take the example of a man who was too preoccupied with his own life to notice his girlfriend gradually withdrawing emotionally. Initially, she was warm and affectionate, but over time he realized that she was no longer offering the small compliments that used to fill their conversations. Physical intimacy decreased, and deep conversations became infrequent, and by the time he realized the emotional distance had grown, it was too late, and she expressed her frustration at feeling abandoned and disconnected. For high-value males, identifying emotional withdrawal early on is essential, since resolving these problems can assist re-establish the emotional bond and stop further relationship decline. Sign 4. Heightened dissatisfaction and criticism. When a partner constantly criticizes you or seems to argue about insignificant things, it frequently reflects deeper frustrations and unresolved feelings. Rather than addressing important issues, she may begin to pick fault with your actions, decisions, or even your personality, for example. Increased criticism and frequent complaints about minor issues can be obvious signs of a woman's discontent in a relationship. A man may notice that his girlfriend, who used to compliment him on his ambition, now regularly criticizes how he manages his time or how he handles his responsibilities. This change can lead to a negative environment where the focus is on what's wrong rather than what's right, which over time erodes the relationship's foundation and causes feelings of disengagement and resentment. Examine the tale of a man who dismissed his girlfriend's growing complaints as a passing phase. At first, he noticed minor criticisms about his appearance or how frequently he checked his phone during conversations. Instead of taking these signs seriously, he dismissed them as unimportant. But over time, the arguments intensified and their relationship deteriorated until she finally voiced her displeasure and chose to end the relationship, citing a lack of understanding and support. Early detection and resolution of increased criticism can assist high-value men in taking proactive measures to enhance communication and re-establish a positive, sustaining connection. Talking about the future without you in ship symbol 5. It might be a serious warning sign when a woman begins talking about her future plans without involving you. She may mention vacation, work changes, or personal objectives without taking into account how you fit into her plans. For instance, she can enthusiastically describe her desire of moving to a new location for a work chance or organizing a trip with friends, utterly eliminating you from the story. This exclusion suggests that she may not be committed to the relationship. Imagine a day in the future when you are both together and her lack of interest is evident. High-value guys are aware that mutual involvement in one another's aspirations and objectives is essential to a successful partnership. Understanding the consequences is crucial when future planning gets biased. Think about a man who observes that his girlfriend talks about her plans to move abroad for work or her dreams of visiting exotic places all the time. When she says, "I can't wait to do this," he initially brushes it off, thinking she is just excited about her personal ambitions. However, as time passes, he discovers that she never talked about how he fits into her future, and when she finally brings up moving away without taking their relationship into consideration, it becomes painfully obvious that she has already made her decision. Early detection of these indicators can benefit high-value males. Evaluate their relationship and decide whether to resolve the matter or end it. The sixth indicator is that she is no longer supportive. Support is a vital component of any successful partnership, and when it starts to wane, it may indicate a woman's increasing disinterest. She may be emotionally disengaging if she doesn't support your efforts or show genuine interest in your day-to-day activities. For example, if she used to celebrate your victories or show genuine interest in your life, but now hardly responds to them or inquires about your day, that's a worrying sign. Imagine a man who has been putting a lot of effort into his career, telling his girlfriend about his recent promotion. He expects her to join him in celebrating, but instead of doing so, she responds with a half-hearted, "That's nice," quickly shifting the conversation to her own interests. Over time, he begins to notice that she is less interested in his goals, whether it's skipping conversations about his projects or failing to support him when he faces difficulties. As the accomplishments become less significant in her eyes, he may dismiss it as her being busy or preoccupied. But this lack of support can erode the emotional bond between them. Early detection of these indicators can assist men in realizing that mutual progress requires support and that resolving underlying problems may be necessary to prevent further disengagement. In conclusion, identifying the warning indications that a woman may be done with a relationship is critical for high value. 6 important markers of males who value emotional intelligence are as follows. Reduced communication, with talks becoming shallow or infrequent, and a clear lack of enthusiasm in hanging out when she turns down invites or puts other interests first. Emotional disengagement, characterized by a decrease in closeness and affection, more criticism, where little disagreements turn into major points of contention, conversations about the future without your participation, indicating a lack of a common goal, and diminished support, showing a lack of interest in your goals and accomplishments. Men who are proactive and perceptive in these areas can manage their relationships more skillfully and steer clear of needless heartbreak. By remaining aware of these indicators, you can take the right steps to promote a happier, more satisfying relationship. As we conclude up, it's critical to remain aware of these indicators and approach your relationships with emotional intelligence and confidence. Remember that partnerships need attention, and that identifying when anything is wrong is the first step towards resolving any underlying difficulties. Being aware of when something might be amiss can enable you to act and promote a more positive relationship with your partner. Remember that it's not only about detecting problems, it's also about developing personally and taking lessons from every encounter. I encourage you to leave a remark below with your ideas or experiences. Your insights may be able to assist others on their journey. If you thought this video was useful, please hit the notification bell to receive updates on future videos and subscribe for more insightful information. Recognizing these indicators is essential for personal development and creating healthier connections in the future, not simply for navigating your current relationship. Accept this information and allow it to direct you towards future relationships that will be more satisfying,